This is Aaron Rand and Natasha Hall on the iHeartRadio Talk Network.
That is James Mennie of the Montreal Gazette. Hey, James.
How you doing, David?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Oh, I'm glad. I was just talking to Emily before I came on, and I'm glad that we didn't have a repeat of 1998.
Me too.
That's handy.
Way to see the glass half full.
If I could see through the glass, which I can't right now because of the freezing rain.
Wow, you are on fire.
Yeah, you know what else is on fire?
What else?
The whole damn province, I'll tell you right now. Hey, listen, we talk a lot about the state of the healthcare network, okay? And we do so with absolute justification. Mm-hmm. However, I think it's worth it to remind our listeners that that's not the only large-ticket item under the authority of the provincial government that is also going to hell in a handbasket. That's right. I'm talking about the justice system.
Yeah. We
just heard about a case of this gentleman, Nicolas d'André Spring, who died at Bordeaux after what's described as a physical intervention by the guards there. But the fact is, he wasn't supposed to have been there at all. He died Christmas Eve. He made bail on the 23rd. He should have been cut loose. He wasn't. Something didn't work. Something went wrong with the system. And maybe it's, you have to do a deep dive into the wiring of the bureaucracy and the administration between, say, Bordeaux and the Palais de Justice. But here's the thing, David. I wasn't even looking for this. I just tripped over this story this morning. There's an individual who is accused in a very high-profile case, murder of a 15-year-old girl. She died in a drive-by shooting 2 years ago in St. Leonard. It was really a flashpoint for the whole issue of gun violence. People were disgusted. People were horrified. Anyway, this guy has been arrested. He's been charged in connection with her murder. However, he wanted today to go to court and seek to be released pending his trial. Now, there's nothing extraordinary about that. However, he wasn't able to have that hearing, and it wasn't because of some arcane legal reason. It wasn't because of, somebody turning around and saying, we have to look into this. The reason this guy couldn't have his hearing today, they couldn't find anybody at the jail to drive him to the courthouse. Ugh. Let that sink in for a second. Okay?
That's incredible.
This is not complex.
No.
Special constable standing in front of the judge, having to explain why the accused isn't there, and he's saying, I'm sorry, it's out of my control. We didn't have anyone available to bring him here.
My goodness.
And that's, sort of one little sort of ice flow around the much larger iceberg. And this, I think this is part of the problem, David, because we hear about these things, but we don't hear about them in the same volume or with the same amount of overview as we do the problems in the healthcare system. But there have been reports. Courtrooms have to shut down at the Palais in Montreal. There's no one there to staff them. They don't have clerks. They don't have greffiers. We are missing judges. Lawyers, prosecutors and defense lawyers stretched too thin. Lack of resources. The ongoing transition here in the second decade of the 21st century from paper to computers. I mean, the same. And people say, the same thing's happening in the health system. Yeah, same difference though. This is the problem. This is the problem. And even though, you can argue justifiably that more people are affected by the travails that are plaguing the healthcare system right now, that the justice system in Quebec is in this state. Talk about a reason to keep your nose clean, because you don't want to get tangled up in that system at all. Quite apart from, even when it worked, it wasn't exactly, 5-star. But now we are seeing the cracks appearing, and it's not some major bombshell that's going through it, David. It's like it's being nibbled to death by mice, And that's kind of scary. And once again, what do you do? I mean, the same thing, we say, well, we need more doctors, we need more specialists, whatever. Well, we have lawyers as well, but do we have enough? What's the deal here? Are they not being deployed sufficiently? Is the job of being a Crown prosecutor, and I've covered this story in the past, not well paid enough? Doesn't offer someone who wants to, say, work in that line of law, is it not worth it for them to get involved? These are questions that are going to have to be asked down the road because, let's face it, justice delayed, as it is delayed on a regular basis, is justice denied. And we have a huge denial problem here in Quebec. And yet it's something nobody mentions, on a regular basis, simply because I think we don't hear about it as often, as frequently and in depth as we hear about the healthcare network. But man, oh man, I have a real concern, especially now in the wake, it's been, a couple of years now, of the Supreme Court ruling, the Jordan ruling,
yes,
which basically puts a time limit on the length of criminal proceedings. We've already seen some people actually go free. When is the reckoning going to occur? It's a little bit scary because if you can't rely on the administration of the law, particularly criminal law, there's another reason for your average Quebecer to shrug and not give a damn about something else that isn't working in this province.
Well, it's trust in the institutions. And if there's no more trust, that goes to the heart of the social contract. But I'll tell you one thing here, James, is that it's not only about just lawyers and judges. I mean, there are court cases that can't move forward because there are no clerks.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not the biggest high-profile jobs that aren't being filled here.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, anybody who, I've covered a few hundred trials in my time. Anybody who's sat through at least one session, quite frankly, certainly of a criminal trial, the clerk, to a certain extent, certainly, the judge is the captain of the proceeding, but the clerk is the captain of the ship.
Absolutely.
This is everything, all the information, the manner in which it's recorded, all of that falls into the lap of the clerk. And in many cases, as you say, we're coming up short on that. I don't know if it's just part and parcel of our overall labor shortage or whatever.
Well, it's salaries too, but it's both.
Well, exactly.
It's both. It's salaries and labor shortage.
We're not talking about people working in fast food. We're not talking about people working in retail. We're talking about people who work in the administration of justice.
Correct.
So,
no, this is a very serious problem. Really, I'm happy you're shedding some light on it because I've been looking at this from different angles, but it touches so many different fields. I mean, now you have a pedophile, a pedophile that might have to be released because right now it's where the health system meets the justice system. They can't get an expertise done in time. Yeah. And if that expertise, which should normally recommend that he stays locked up, if that expertise isn't done in a maximum amount of days, then this man's probably going to be released.
Yeah, I presume you're talking about, because that is, like you say, it's a separate but connected case. The Pinella Institute, which is the go-to place
exactly
for psychological evaluations in legal cases, they're swamped. So once again, I guess it's a matter of priority.
This is serious, and I'll make a leap here, and I know we're running out of time here, James, but this is when government doesn't fulfill yet again, and it's municipal, it's provincial, it's federal. I'm not singling out one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But when the basic mission of government cannot be fulfilled, that's when you open up the door to extreme rights, extreme right or extreme left, and that's when people can go crazy.
As you said, it's a matter of confidence in the institution.
Absolutely.
And it's so easy to sort of wipe the whole, with the back of your hand, say none of it works, I don't care. And then you hear someone who said, vote for me. I will make all of, you won't say how, but I will make all of that better.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll circle back to what you were saying yesterday about the U.S. House. That's when you get a bunch of people who just want to burn it down and it won't make compromises and won't think about the people.
Just to address what you were talking to earlier in the show, who are these people who are blocking us? They already have a name. They're called the Taliban 20. Okay, it's 20 representatives, Republican representatives. They're Trumpists, but they're hardcore Trumpists.
They're not even listening to Trump.
Well, listen, every single hour this goes on, okay? As far as I'm concerned, that's another 4 years for the Democrats in power, because no one can look at this. You saw, you know Charlie Angus, right? NDP
right,
MP.
NDP MP, great NDP MP.
He is tracking his own. He has put himself forward as a potential speaker for the House. Last time I saw his Twitter account, he said he was about 17 votes away.
Anyways, the ninth vote is underway right now in D.C., and it appears it's clear now McCarthy will lose this one too.
And that breaks another record.
Yeah. Thank you.
The guy in 23, 100 years ago, it took them 9 votes.
It took him 9 votes. 1856 is the record, 133 votes. So, yeesh. Thank you so much, James. Great conversation. Adam A. James Mennie of the Montreal Gazette.
You're listening to Aaron Rand and Natasha Hall on the iHeartRadio Talk Network.